Hello, is this working? Is anybody there? Can anybody hear me? Hey, hey. Oh, it's working. Okay. Hot damn. All right. What's up, guys? It's RJ here. Um, I guess I had to just restart my computer and quit out of the apps, and then now they're talking to each other. Um, all right, I'm gonna assume you guys can hear me. This thing is still pretty weird because it's it's just weird talking at a screen and not having anybody talk back. um, oh, thank you, Nathan. A second. This is actually working. Is it offline now? Did I just lose you? It says it's like cutting in and out. I don't know what the hell's going on here, you guys. This technology shit is for the birds. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea if this is working. But anyway, all right, I'm getting an error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. All right. Well, maybe what you're seeing and what I'm seeing are not the same thing. So anyway, what I was gonna do here is go through trying out this live streaming thing. It's not my I'm green, as they say. I'm wheeling my chair up here. And I did one of these last week on Facebook here, trying it on YouTube. Go back over here on the MPC. I was thinking about what might be interesting to walk through musically, and I thought the MPC would be one place to start. I'm trying to pick stuff that I think the construction of the track is interesting. Sometimes the way a song goes together, there's like basically more of an interesting story behind it. And I mean that in an auditory sense, not in a literal sense. So I'm trying to pick those things to load up and go through, so you can kind of get an idea behind what I think are some of the more interesting processes that went behind some of the songs. So here I'm going to do the same thing I was doing last week. I'm going to just run you through the sounds that were in the machine for this song. This was a tune that ended up on an OK Player compilation. Okay, the video screen is small. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Let's try this. All right. How's that? So, here, I'm just going to run through these sounds. Here, I want to give you a little clue real quick. Check this out. If you listen right at the tail end of this, you're going to hear a little voice thing. So what this is sometimes you Hold on, let me close the door here so I'm not shouting super loud. Sometimes you're looking for source material, and what you find is it's pretty obvious. It's laid right out there. You know, it's instrumental if you're looking for that kind of thing, and oftentimes it'll be in 4/4, so you can visualize exactly how it would work as a as a loop or whatever. And sometimes that's not the case. So with this was an example of a thing where this was a vocal song, and there was a big string arrangement, and there was singing. And so in any places where the vocals didn't appear, I would basically go in and just kind of surgically take those sections out. And what I wound up with is these little chunks that didn't make a lot of sense. So this was one of the more challenging things to attack, because as you can see, to I don't know, to your ears, maybe you can hear something, but to me, I kind of just hear nonsense. I mean, I can tell that all these snippets are in the same key, but that's about it to me. So then the challenge becomes, how are you going to turn that into a thing that feels like not only a groove, but a chord change that's got something to it that's pushing it. And these are some other sounds that were in the machine. I've already put these all in the same key, or at least I should have. Little clue there if you listen hard. All right, so anyway, that's what you have is sort of the source material, and when you put it all, when I put it all together, this is what you end up with. Okay, so that's the deal with that. Bear with me, folks. I'm still kind of getting used to everything that I'm having to navigate here as far as apps and all that junk. But another thing I wanted to do here is give you guys a little tour. I'm going to try to move this back. And again, if I botch this, just bear with me, man. I'm a 43-year-old man that this shit is not native to me, okay? So anyway, what I'm going to try to do here is get another... All right, here we go. Can you guys... Hold on a second. I want to ask you... Because if this works, then we can do something cool. Can you guys see a blue coffee cup now? Let's try something real quick. All right, I'm going to go back here. Anybody see a blue coffee cup on their screen? Thank you, Ninlop. Shit changed my life, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys for all the kind words. I appreciate it. Um, okay, so you might be seeing a little delay. Um, so, hold on a second. Let me ask. Blue cup. Okay, great, perfect. So what that means is, and can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. All right, this is great. So what this means is, in theory, all right, yeah. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna be able to take you on a little tour of the studio as long as I don't get a dropout here. So, all right. Let's see. This is what I'm sending. Okay, cool. So this is the modular synth. Oh, now I can actually give you guys a sort of rundown of what the room looks like and how it's arranged. Okay, this is all synth stuff. Here's compressors. Here's audio interface. All right, I'm not gonna be able to see you. What's up, Rick? What's up, man? I'm not gonna be able to read what you're commenting, but hopefully this will work. I'm gonna try to give you a little tour. So, synths. Here, we can turn these on. If you want to hear anything? Ooh, let's hit the tune button on the Jupiter 8. That sounded gnarly. Not good. Okay, what else we got? Matrix 12, this guy's jamming. Let that warm up for a second. Okay, so the way I've got stuff laid out here is everything in this room, almost everything that can receive MIDI is connected MIDI-wise to the studio, to the computer. So then I don't have to, I can separate the performance part of something from the sound recording. So I can kind of lay out, in fact, that's how I did the last Insane Warrior record was done. Basically, every single part of it was all MIDI tracks that were written, and then I would send them out to all the synths, and I could pretty much hear what the song was like before I tracked any of the audio, and then I could just go through and print audio, and the thing would be done. Okay, hold on a second. So down here you got your patch bay and interface. This is relevant because way back in here you've got your old RCA tube preamps. Yeah, it's a CS80. So the preamps are relevant because, and then you got this little door. Here, I'm going to crawl underneath my desk so you can get an idea what we're looking at here. Okay, so behind here, when I bought this house and moved in, one of the cool things was they had this little door that went from one room to the next. So, I'm actually going to crawl through this door. I'm going on faith here that you can see and hear me because I have no fucking idea. This might drop out. But anyway, you come through here, you pop out here, and now we're live, and you can see this is the spaghetti, all the cables. So, here, now this is the live. Now, you might not be able to hear me. I'm going to keep talking and then you can hear what I'm saying. It's everything that a microphone would do. So, here, Wurlitzer. CP80, clavinet, Nord, Honer Pianet, that would beat. I got this for $20 with a thrash, the output transformer with mixer over here. And then I can just turn it up back. I'm going to go back in the control room and see. Is it dropping out or is it working? You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, so you can't hear me when I'm in the other room, I take it. Yeah, Groovy Girl, that was in its right place. A little bit. I gotta figure out a way to have the audio transmit. Yeah, it's reading the mic off of the computer, the studio computer, and I guess the farther away I get. All right, and last room here, I'll show you one other room. This was the advanced levels of carpentry, which I had to step it up for this one. Check this out. So down here, you go back here. Can you even see that? I think we lost this. You know what? All right, you see that pipe right there? That PVC pipe? All right. That pipe runs all the way back along this wall, and I had to thread this, and then my dad taught me this amazing trick. So I threaded this. It's about a 30-foot run in that wall and then back through that whole live room. My dad taught me this great trick for threading a string through, where you half inflate a balloon and then you tie it to a string, and then you stick a shop vac on the other end, and it'll suck the balloon through and it'll pull the string, and then once you've got the string through, you can pull your wiring through. And so I did that, and then I pulled my wiring through. Why am I telling you this story? Because there's 5 lines of balanced audio cable that run. It's about a 45-foot run, and I built all this shit myself, pretty much. So back through here, through the live room, and then it pops out in this Harry Potter looking room right here. All right, I'm not even going to bother talking because I doubt you could hear me. So anyway, oh, wait a second. Hold on. Let me see. See, if I do this, you get crazy feedback, right? Now can you, let's do a little test real quick. I'm going to go in the other room. Tell me if you can hear me, okay? So we're going to go into the Harry Potter room. Here it is. Right here.
Okay, how about this? Can you hear me? So this is the guitar room. So the wiring that I was telling you pops out way back there, comes down, goes into these Ward-Beck mic trees that we've got right here, and then I've got all my guitar amps in here.
All right, I'm going to mute this again. It's getting crazy feedback. All right. All right, so maybe that's... All right, I'm going to turn this one off, and we're going to go back to this regular thing. I'm going to quit out the FaceTime thing. All right, let's go back here. Let's go to OBS. Close this down. All right. Hopefully we're back to normal now. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Are we back to normal? All right, so I'm showing you all that. Hear me okay now? Hopefully you can. I'm moving the windows around is what I'm doing here. So I'm in the OBS app that I'm using for streaming. I can, all right, that should be coming through. All right. So I was showing you all that, giving you the tour of this, and then the only thing that's not in there is the record room, which is down in the basement. But I was giving you this tour of the routing and everything so you could see not only how, like, basically how this is how I make records, but it's also how keeping everything pre-patched, if you will. So you can see in the live room there's mics on the drums and there's mics on the guitar amps. Everything in here in the synth room is, you know, it's a sort of, it's routed through a mixer and then in through the patch base, so in a way that I can very easily just select inputs, because you know when you're making a record and you're playing all the instruments by yourself, having to repatch mics and get signals and all that kind of crap, it'd basically be impossible. It's the only way that I can do this in a predictable manner is to have everything pre-routed on a mixer. So that's why I was giving you that little tour. I'm going to load up one other thing on the MPC in the meantime, and I'm also going to try to, yeah, yeah, I'm pretty set for the quarantine. I got more than enough stuff to do for sure. I'm going to try to load up one other thing that hopefully will be interesting on the MPC, and while it's loading, we'll go over to the Pro Tools session, and I'm going to try to give you an idea of what an older tune looked like in the MPC, and then I've got one Dead Ringer session up here. Somebody asked last week for something from, you know, a breakdown of something from Dead Ringer, and so I've got that in a, oh dang, lost Pro Tools. Let me go back here and load that up, and all right, MPC is loading. Pro Tools should be up in a second. Okay, so this is the Pro Tools session. Yeah, that's the MPC for if I'm doing drum programming, that's the spot for me, man. That's I'm just comfortable on it, you know, and I don't have to think about the machine. So anyway, let's see here. All right. Let's see. So this is... there's not a whole lot to this tune, honestly. Here, let me see if I can get you the screen. Hold on a second. Let me go to this. I'm trying to show you the actual session, but I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting the browser to show window capture. How about... I don't know if you guys are seeing the Pro Tools session here or not. I'm trying to show you the session, but the OBS thing is kind of being a pain in the ass, so... Alright, that's enough of that. You get the picture there. Here, let me open up something else, give you a little breakdown on... we can try this. Let me try one thing so you don't have to look at my damn mug. I'm trying to, let's see. Ah, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Get my face all the fucking way out of here. Okay, I'm going to switch over here. Hopefully you'll see just the Pro Tools. Yeah, I'm trying to make my webcam, so I'm trying to just get me all the way off this fucking camera. So anyway, here, check this out. Still waiting on the MPC to load up, but we're getting there. So, here goes some drums, got some congas, tambourine. That's not an organ. I don't know why that's labeled organ. Let's see. What do we got here? Ah! I understand what's going on here. All right. That was a Pro Tools session. I've got all these buses. That's why when I'm soloing stuff out here, it's not. This should be soloing out, but it looks like I've got this set to output. Oh, it's a bus output 2122. So I should have a bus input somewhere of 2122. I'm not seeing it. See, sometimes this is what happens when you just put too many tracks on it. Alright, here goes the horns on this. See, that output is making sense to me. So this is a tune that you haven't heard, and I'm just kind of randomly going through and breaking down parts to it. And I'm not doing a good job of soloing anything out here, so mostly just because this Pro Tools session is it's a clusterfuck is what it really is here. So. All right, so that's that. I try to hit the mouse with a good, solid, aggressive hit. That's it's like I'm wreaking vengeance on the mouse. I don't know why I do that. Let me load up another. This MPC is taking forever. In the meantime, I'll load up another session. Maybe I can break down something else that's a little more interesting. Let's see. You know what? Hold on a second. Let me go back here and alrighty. I'll look for another old session that we can load up here. Let's see. Temperamental. Oh yeah, we could do this. Here, let's try. Somebody mentioned A Lot of Night Ahead of You the other day when we were doing one of these. So let me load that up. Let's see. Oh no. All right. Let's look at an older version of this. I don't know why I've got. Okay, here we go. Here, maybe this will be a little bit more. Hopefully, this will provide some. Maybe this will be interesting in hearing how, when you stack up synths, it can. All right. So here's your synth stem on this tune. Are you guys good on volume? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear this okay? Alright, so that's what the thing sounded at the end of the day, once it's all mixed. Let's go through and hear how wimpy some of these synths are going to sound. I'm expecting them to be real wimpy, super soft. Alright, I'm just going to go in and add in the synths. Here, let's do this so you can see the session itself. Oh, you stupid piece of shit. Alright. That's what the synths sounded like by themselves, and then you've got your drums. I'm using this OBS thing, and it's not. I don't know why it's just will not. It doesn't want to see the Apollo Thunderbolt as an input, so I don't know what's going on there with that. So anyway, I'm getting some errors that this is dropping out. Are you guys? I don't know. I don't know if this thing is still on, you guys. No, I'm using Pro Tools, Miro. I've been meaning to learn Ableton for the longest time, and I'm just I haven't gotten around to it. You know, every time that I've tried, it just doesn't feel intuitive. I don't know why. So move this window. I was hoping to put up something else on the MPC, but it's taking forever and a fucking day to load up, man. Alright, in that case, while we're waiting, let's pick something else that's old. Let's see. Alright, we got the MPC up. There we go. Here, we'll go back over here, play a little fun game of guess the song. Most of these are just chops from a record. I'm just going through the sounds so you can hear what was in the machine at the time of construction or assembly, if you will. Here's a little trick. If you know, when you're sampling the, if you got an extended note and you're coming off a record, if you turn off the turntable right after the note hits, you can give something either like a glissando or down or up. Actually, I think it would be technically a portamento, down or up. And that's how I got the bend in these notes, is just by having literally the turntable slowing down as you sample it, and so it creates kind of a downward or upward pitch direction. Drum fill. Alright, and we should have multiple programs in here. I'm not going to bother. Yeah, what we've got is, so when this machine, this is going to be super primitive for people that make music on computers that were native to that. But when the 2000 XL came out, to me it was a game changer because it would let you have 4 programs of sounds in the machine at a time, and you could assign the programs to different tracks. So you could have, instead of basically instead of having 64 sounds at your disposal, you could have that times 4, so 256. Is that 64? Yeah, 256 at your disposal at any given time, quadrupling the capacity of the previous model of MPC, which was just the plain 2000. So yeah, it sounds messy, but you know, that's kind of the beauty of the thing, is you've got to.
Oh yes, girl, yes you got it.
Bunch of vocal chops. What else we got here? All right, we did that one. We did the bass. Wait. It's probably going to sound like chaos, and I'm actually kind of doing this on purpose because hopefully it illustrates the fun of the whole process. Is you've got what feels like chaos, and you're trying to make sense of it. You got to kind of arrange it or organize it into something that makes some kind of sense. Super tough kick. And hopefully you can also see how almost immediately you've got to start deciding what's going to be the heavy lifting parts of the song. You know, what's going to be the sort of the primary thing that everything gets built around, and what's going to be sort of the ancillary. I'm going to try maybe to do another one. I'm trying these out on YouTube and Facebook, so let me know if there's more of stuff that you want to hear, less of stuff that you want to hear, technical stuff that I should work on. I know I'm not the greatest with that shit. So feel free to let me know. Be safe out there, you know. Be healthy. Real quick. Yeah, yeah, the pen and paper. Yeah, well, the notebook. Yeah, that's critical, honestly. Especially with that thing, there's no way I could stay organized without that. But before I get out of here real quick, I just wanted to say, obviously, we're all stuck inside right now, and some of you guys are probably bored as shit, and probably starting to kind of maybe go a little bit crazy. I know we're all sort of we might be right on the edge there. But I wanted to just kind of remind you guys on a non-music tip that you know, we're probably going to be in this for a little while. I'm not going to bother you with the protocol of how you should be washing your hands and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to assume that you're up to speed on that. But as it comes to balance that we're all going to have to here, most of you, some if not most of you, are in a similar situation where you're not. Maybe you've got less work than you would like. Maybe you've got no work. I mean, I know people that their income has gone straight to zero, and you know, it's not an easy situation for anybody to be in. So I don't want to be presumptive about anyone's financial lot in life in this current environment. But with that said, there's a lot of small businesses around me. There's a lot of people that I know that are either running their own business or employed by a small business. And some of them, they can't do anything. It's just literally, you know, they're shut down. Places like fitness facilities and gym trainers and the like. They can't do any. Their income's gone from 100 to 0. But for the ones that have stayed open and shifted their focus to be something that was maybe peripheral to what they were doing before, any little bit that you're going to spend with them helps. So I know that for me, I have to think about, you know, where am I going to save money as well as where am I going to spend money, and I'm trying to do this strategically, and I wanted to encourage you all to do the same thing. Particularly restaurants, places that do takeout, any of those types of food service related businesses that are still open. You know, your dollars mean a lot. Your cash means something. For some of these people, it's going to be the difference between staying open and not making it, and that's the sad, you know, the sad truth about it. So, you know, I would encourage you to keep that in the forefront of your mind, you know, because this might go on for a long time. You know, this is I don't think that this is gonna be a thing that, you know, we pop out in 2 or 3 weeks, and then we just act like it never happened. This might be the new normal, and if not, at least for the next, I'm guessing, 2 to 4 months, this is probably what life is going to look like for most of us. So that's that. And the other thing that I wanted to say real quick is, well, two other things. With that said, I am I'm not on a big label. I'm an independent artist. I run my own record label. I have my own publishing. A lot of what I do is really very hand to mouth. So, I've got this record coming out in a little more than 2 weeks called The Fun Ones. Any of your support, any of your pre-orders of the album or purchases of the album, they make a huge difference to a guy like me. So, you can find it there's links in all the bios on Twitter and Facebook and such, rjd2.net. If you go there, it'll link you right to where you can pre-order the album. It's going to be on vinyl, digital, CD, so on and so forth. And last thing I wanted to say before I get out of here is, this can be, a crisis like this can be sort of a disaster. You can see it as a disaster, and you can also see it as an opportunity. And I am working every day to see what about this, trying to spin my perspective around and look at any component of this as I can as an opportunity to maybe change what I'm doing about something or how I'm doing things. I think this applies to something as big as our healthcare system. But I think that there's a number of ways in which, we can, I think we can all be looking at times like this for ways that we can use this as an opportunity to either, maybe that for some of you that's going to mean you start to exercise, or maybe some of you are going to start meditating, or start doing yoga, or you're going to learn that instrument. I think these are all great outcomes. These are all the most obvious examples of how to look at this as an opportunity. So I'd also encourage you to kind of keep that in the forefront of your mind. So cheers, folks. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for spending time with me. I appreciate it. See you guys.